Many thanks to fellow Destruction Squad, Clips from the servers, Seattle's Cloud, 7RP server, the Struggle community, the Camera Crew servers, Friendly DayZ podcast, DayZ servers, Reclamation server, and the settlement for making this video possible. DayZ 1.29 has gotten off to a pretty shaky start, introducing many new bugs and performance issues, so I'm going to be breaking down the bad and the good that came with 1.29, give you an update from the devs surrounding cheating on Xbox, and why the flare gun is no longer spawning. The response from the community has been pretty mixed on what 1.29 has done to performance, with the majority voting here that performance is a little bit better according to this poll I ran, but many others have said that 1.29 reverted the vehicle stability update, has created many desync issues like the hand bug and many more, and introduced some graphical issues too. The most diabolical of which are certainly the texture popping and the stuttering that comes with that, which appears to mostly affect players on console, but on PC they can have this issue too, not so much the texture popping, but the stuttering. You can fix this stuttering by turning inertia to true in the gameplay.json config file, but this is a server-side fix only. As for the desync issues, the most noticeable one is the one with the hand bug, so if you can't put items in your hands or take them out of your hands, you need to relog to fix this. No other method can fix it quite as well as relogging, and as for driving lag, you would just need to drive slower. There is a positive to driving in this patch though, as vehicle network prediction tech was released to modders in 1.29, which was a tech that was added to make the vehicles smooth in 1.28. This basically allows modders to create insanely smooth aerial vehicles in this patch, partly because they're no longer seen as just flying cars in the eyes of the engine, with dabs showcasing what's possible with a heli plane in 1.29. Now on the surface this may look similar to aerial vehicles of the past, but the level of realism that's achievable now is of studio level quality. There's so much that they can refine on these aerial vehicles, with the Dabs framework mod including some of this work in the future. I was lucky enough to get a behind the scenes look at this on the Deadline server before it's released. These aerial vehicles will be fully released to other people on April 19th if you do want to try that out, and he's also giving away 5 copies of DayZ, links below. Now that some time has passed since crossplay was officially released, there are many examples confirming that PC cheats are on any public Xbox server, not just the mouse and keyboard ones, but a new discovery was recently made that somehow makes this even worse, as cheaters have a laughably easy way to bypass their bans, so even if a person is caught and banned by a server admin on a community Xbox server, they can just get straight back into the server and start killing people again. The DayZ devs are aware of this situation and have officially responded, mentioning that PC players getting on controller-only servers is something that they're working on preventing. Whether that's going to work long-term is something we'll just have to wait and see, and this basically confirms that PC cheaters will have access to mouse and keyboard-only Xbox servers for the foreseeable future, with no word on if Xbox server owners will get any improved tools to catch cheaters easier, or if these bans that they're getting around are actually going to remain in place for more than a few minutes. But do bear in mind that this is still a developing situation, so I'll try to keep you up to date as we go. As for exploits, not as many as we wished were fixed, with confirmation that the tire glitch and a certain duping method was patched. All others appear to have made it through. This goes the same for many of the bugs on experimental. The experimental bugs made it through to this stable release, a lot of them did, with the following being the ones that you'll notice the most. Animals no longer have long distance sounds, so you won't be able to hear bears growling in the distance or deer making that weird sound, nor will you hear any other animal unless you're right up close to them. Cows don't make sounds, pigs, boars, nothing. All of the sounds are bugged for long distances. On the plus side though, you will hear wolves howling still if the bug that makes wolves howl silent doesn't happen to you. When fishing, you won't get a splashing sound and your controller won't vibrate either, so you only have the visual cue. You have to watch for the splash and then pull in then. You'll also need to keep your eyes on your stats and the levels, because sometimes they will go a bit crazy and show random values in this patch, which I'm sure has scared a lot of players already. This can sometimes show blood splats on your screen even when you're not bleeding, or can show that your clothes are wet when they're not wet, and if you relog when you have the heat buff, that heat buff will become invisible. Invisible heat buffs is something that we might need to get used to, because we might also need to get used to relogging to fix the hand bug and some other issues too, such as some actions like connecting a cooking pot to a gas stove can glitch out your character's animation or cause you to become desynchronized. There are a lot of actions that can cause a lot of issues in this patch, with relogging being the best way to fix them. The problem is, these desync issues, they're very inconsistent. Sometimes they happen, other times they don't, such as reloading your weapon can cause some funky magic trick like this to happen every time, but when it comes to picking up heavy items, the new stamina bug doesn't happen every time. This bug, I guess, assumes that you still have the heavy item in your hands, so it keeps your stamina drained this low until you pick it up and put it down again. That's how you fix it, but I would still recommend a relog because you never know, this could cause a hand bug issue too. Some good news though, the PlayStation exclusive weapon alignment bug looks to be fixed in this patch, which would send your projectile down to the left for some reason. I'm not sure exactly what caused this bug or why it was only on PlayStation, making it nearly impossible to snipe or even just shoot accurately at close range. However, now we have a new set of weapon bugs, such as weapons jamming when they're pristine, even with pristine magazines. I believe the game believes that you have a badly damaged weapon when it shows pristine on your screen. This bug is very rare, but if you have it, then you will certainly know about it because your weapon will jam every 5 to 10 shots. The Derringer now requires a double reload. Holding reload only expels the cartridges. You need to press reload again in order to fully reload this weapon. The flare gun flares are now bugged and they get stuck in the air like this, but maybe this bug is worse than I experienced because the devs stopped it from spawning entirely in 1.29 on all maps, with one of the comments I read saying that it causes crashes. I didn't experience a crash, so I don't know how true that is. Other bugs include the PC Game Pass having issues with voice over IP, so it's not really working for most players. The new Sakau Bunker expansion can cause crashes on console, and items inside containers inside your inventory drop to the floor when you relog, or when you log in. You will get a warning on screen when this happens, so that's good, and it only happens to items within items inside your inventory, so not containers like tents or barrels, thankfully. As for what I believe to be intentional changes that weren't mentioned in the patch notes, Infected can see you from far away, with crouching helping you a lot to remain unseen. You can no longer dry clothes rapidly using a torch or dropping wet items directly on top of that torch. It will no longer dry them rapidly, and fence walls can no longer be placed near each other. This is how close you could get before, and this is how close you can get now. This is a massive difference. This is something that should probably have been in the patch notes. There are other bugs like this weird terrain issue and many minor issues that I found on the feedback tracker like this one here. The ones I've mentioned are the ones that are most noteworthy, but there might be other noteworthy ones out there, so if you do know one, please let us know below. The issues I've highlighted in this video are only intended to help reduce player frustration while these issues are being looked into, and try to create some additional resource to identify, reproduce, and maybe even find the root cause of a bug, with confirmed hotfixes on the way. Do not lose hope, there are hotfixes on the way. Hopefully a lot of these are going to be fixed. To the people I didn't credit, I do apologise. There has been so much to cover in this video, I lost the original source in some cases. If you do want to report some bugs, go to the feedback tracker, link below. Thank you very much for watching and have a good day.